Greetings. Greetings to all my crypto friends. This is Uncle Vigilante, crypto's favorite uncle. And as you know, this is the show where we don't tolerate sponsors. But I'd like to let you know today's sponsor is Perdomo. Perdomo cigar. It's the Perdomo Champion, the 10th anniversary. Yeah. And the reason why this is sponsoring the show today is you may have recognized that Uncle V hasn't gone on a cigar walk for a while. And I just kind of want to come clean and let you know why. So if you've listened to me from the beginning, you know that I kind of went all in on crypto. And part of that was I liquidated my 401k, my IRA, and I liquidated all of my whole life insurance policies. Yeah, I turned those into fiat, and then I converted them into cryptocurrency, and I bet it all. It's all in the market. Like you, I've kind of had a bad few days looking at my Blockfolio app. Ouch. But you know what? Because we do what? We hashtag hodl. We don't care. We don't care because we know it's a bumpy ride up. And this is, I'm starting to understand the language, which is, this is just the consolidation phase. That's to make everybody feel good that they're losing money on paper. You know, if you call it the consolidation phase, I don't know what it does. It just puts a spell on you that says, relax. Well, this week, guys, I haven't been able to relax because after liquidating my whole life insurance policies, well, you know, last week I'm sitting there thinking, damn, if I get hit by a bus, two things. One is, I don't know if my wife could ever figure out how to track down all my crypto treasure, geez. And two, I'm like, maybe I better get some term life insurance because I kind of liquidated the whole life. So this Friday, today, I had my visit where they come over and they do the EKG and they take your blood and you give a urine sample and they make you get on a scale. And, you know, the goal is to be able to pass so that you can get, you know, when you're an old guy like me, 56, you know, you start approaching that age where, you know, they're kind of looking for more reasons to say no than yes. So what does that mean? That means that as of Monday, I went on a snake diet fast. If you haven't heard of a snake diet fast, just Google it. You want to lose 30 pounds in 30 days? Go to YouTube, type in snake diet. You'll meet this guy with really short hair who will yell at you and he will swear at you, but he'll teach you how you can lose weight really, really fast. And actually, fasting is very good for you. So I've been fasting for 5 days, and also, you know, they asked on the questionnaire, do you smoke or have you ever smoked? Now, I don't smoke cigarettes, and I may or may not have smoked a cigar in my day, and I may or may not have put a check mark under the no, don't smoke, and I may or may not have Googled how long does, like if you did have a little, you know, cigar smoke in your system, how long does it take? And they said, 3 to 4 days. And so, you know me, I just always kind of want to do more than most, better than most in a shorter period of time than most. So I started on, I haven't had a cigar for 1 week. So after this interview, Uncle V is going to take this little guy, this little Perdomo. And by the way, smash that like button down there. hit that notification bell, because guess what? I didn't even let anybody know prior to this because I was busy getting on scales, getting my veins poked and EKG and all that. I didn't have time to do a pre-announcement, but normally I would. And if you go to my Telegram, which is t.me/Uncle Vigilante Lounge, if you look, I think I have it as my name down there, but you can come in and normally I'll drop when I'm going to be on. But what the hell was I talking about? But after this show, I'm going to go on a cigar walk. Now I'm trying to determine, should I go on a cigar walk and actually have a conversation with you guys? Or should I go on my cigar walk and listen to the latest Jeff Berwick, our Lord and Savior of crypto, peace be upon him, if I should listen to his last 2 videos, because I haven't teed up and I haven't listened to him yet. So why don't you tell me in the show notes below or in the chat, would you rather have Uncle V just talk about nothing? Or do you want Uncle V to just enjoy the cigar and go for a walk? You're sick of me because I've dropped so many videos this week. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, I want to introduce my guest, and it is Justin. Justin, tell me so that I don't screw it up. Is it Dasilva? Hello, hello. All right, what is going on here? All right. Tell me, Justin, I need you to unmute.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. Just let me know, Justin, it's Dasilva, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I screwed that up. I had, all right, thank you. So we have Justin Dasilva, who is a CTO and lead developer of a coin called PRivaCY. And let's do this before we do a deep dive with Justin. And I am going to just play you a short video that they haven't released anywhere. So as I understand it, this will be the screening. So you people right there in the chat, LA, Turbo Mini Cooper, Do As You Will, Matt Adler, and Daniel, I'm not even going to try, and Core, welcome. I love you guys. Welcome to the show. You guys are going to get a preview of this. So let me do a screen share, and we're going to go right here, and we're going to hit play. All right. Introducing PRivaCY. Well, I have to give it to you. That was pretty damn impressive. That kind of made me want to go get some buttered popcorn. Good job, Justin. Okay, why don't you introduce yourself, give us a little bit of your backstory, and then we can dive into PRivaCY.
Sounds good. So my name's Justin Dasilva. I'm currently the lead developer and CTO of PRivaCY. I've got a background in development over the last couple of years, working for a couple of coins that a lot of our community has been a part of. So we've forked this coin into our own coin there. And that's what most of my story is from.
What was the coin you forked from?
We forked from dApps coin.
Oh, forked from Dash. Okay.
dApps.
Wait.
DAPS.
DAPS.
Yes.
dApps coin.
Correct.
Okay. And so explain to me, I kind of got into this last night, but just to kind of to review and understand, what's the process when you're part of a project, you were part of dApps, or your team was, or part of it was. What happens when somebody working on a project wakes up one day and says, we need to fork off of this? What motivates that, and why did you do that?
Basically, long story short, because it's a long history with the dApps coin, but we had a difference of opinion with how things were being managed. So we decided to fork to our own version of the coin with different changes and aspects. And along with that happening, we had a number of people end up following along with us because they had felt the same way about how things were being run at dApps. So now
give me an example of how you run it now versus how they ran it, and why the difference, and why that meant so much to you. What makes this one better?
We feel that we're a lot more transparent in our spendings and things of that nature, something that a lot of folks have been calling for previously on dApps, but we felt like we weren't getting the answers.
What do you mean in our spending? Again, this is a newbie channel, and I pre-apologize for interrupting you to answer newbie questions, but what do you mean by that, spending?
Just we felt like there was maybe a mismanagement of some of the funding, I guess you could say.
Okay, so that's excellent, because I still don't get it, even though a couple of people have had to try to teach me, but I'm just slow up the on-ramp. I don't even know, as a business person, I'm still trying to understand how coins get their money to be able to make any investments.
Oh, fair enough. So we just felt things weren't going how we wanted. So essentially, we didn't like that some issues were brought up and we weren't getting answers that we were looking for. So there was a number of us that felt that same exact way. So it was going on for some time. So eventually it just came to be enough. And we all went our way.
When you say we, you're talking about probably developing team?
Yes. So the developers and a number of heavy supporters. So there were some financial supporters or people that had given funds that were trying to help build the other project up, and they felt like they were wronged. So a number of them ended up following along with us and pitching in whichever way that they could to bring PRivaCY coin, our coin, to the market. Okay.
So when you launch a coin, or when somebody launches a coin, how does a coin, let's just say that I'm going to get a bunch of smart people together to launch the Uncle V coin, crypto's favorite uncle. Yeah, this is the coin that's going to keep you safe, because we asked all the hard questions prior to launching it. We got it all figured out, right? How does one fund something like that? That's where I just can't, I'm not getting it. How you fund a project that would attract people like you to work on it, because I imagine maybe everybody does donate their time. I don't know that, and maybe that's part of the cool thing of cryptocurrency is everybody's just leaning in with their chin.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are volunteers in regards to our coin. And we also have no issue with giving them PRivaCY coin for their efforts as well, too. Being such a community coin, we want to involve the community as much. So if people have, any way that they can help or offer anything, be it volunteer time or even just technical aspects of things, we're glad to have anybody on. Just let us know what you can do, and we'd love to get you a part some sort of way.
Okay, so tell me what community coin means to you, and what is the alternative?
So community coin for me, it makes me feel like there's a lot of supporters and people that aren't necessarily paid to be there, but they want to be there. We're similar thinkers in that we love privacy, with our saying being privacy is your right. I feel like there's a lot of people in our community that are really bringing forth that energy and pushing that message with us. And that's our biggest thing, is we love that people have the same message and the same thinking.
Excellent. Well, as CTO and lead developer, what does privacy mean to you?
For me, it means a number of things. Not being able to see the balances, that's a big one. Not being able to have somebody surveilling you like a Bitcoin type of coin would be. For me, having the little features, the features that we do, like ring CT, ring signatures, bulletproofs, the stealth addresses, all those little parts, all join together to build an excellent solution for the privacy. And for me, with my crypto, I hate having to, if you're on a Bitcoin chain, for example, or one of those public chains, one click of the button and you can see who sent you what, or what you've spent things on, and things of that nature. And then there comes up the aspect of the tainted coins as well, which is never an option with ours, because you don't know where the coins are coming from.
So explain the process of yours. I tried to do that last night, and I'm trying to visualize it. And you said your process is like Monero's, to where you have ring signatures. Can you educate us on that?
Yes, for sure. So we have ring CT, which is how the transaction amounts are kept hidden. So Monero, for example, they implemented that in, I think it was January 2017, but it was an after the fact scenario. So not knocking them at all, because they're still, one of the champion of privacy coins, but they adding it later in the game, they didn't have the same sort of hidden amounts as we would right from the get-go. So we have that in there right from the beginning. So all the values are hidden. Everything is already there from the Genesis block date. So the date we mined the first block.
So you still have all the data in the transaction, but it just cannot be seen by blockchain analysis, right?
Exactly. So it'll show 0 on the blockchain, and with the way that our addresses are work, you don't actually see a stealth address on the blockchain. So if you were to pull up our Explorer, your master account would be a 99 character address, and then if you go to the Explorer, all of them show as, I think it's a 30 or 40 character address, which has no actual relation to your master account. Okay.
So if I send a coin, this is the example I've been trying to use. If I want to send $100 of privacy coin to my daughter, I have my privacy wallet. Can you first just tell me how do I? Let's just start from square one. How do I download a wallet? And maybe what we'll do, this is probably a good time to pull up your website and let's take a little tour of that, and then we can kind of go from there. That'll lead us. All right, this is your website. So privacy coin, 100% private and secure. PRivaCY is a privacy blockchain with a focus on security, scalability, and total privacy. The piracy protocol has been built in a fully autonomous anonymous staking coin and payment system with a trustless government structure based upon the latest privacy technologies. Do you know that sentence, like a week ago, would have made no sense to me, and it's just freaking me out that it's starting to make sense.
That's awesome. See,
I'm making some progress.
Awesome.
So we're at the home here. Let's just kind of go down the home. We have so for people to find you, you are on Discord. That's open.
Yes. We just opened that up recently. We had it for a while, but it wasn't as popular because we tend to be more Telegram guys.
Yeah.
But a lot of folks were calling for our Discord, so we've got that set up. We're going to put a lot more time and effort into it.
Let me ask you about Telegram. How do they find you on Telegram?
PRivaCY Coin Official.
Okay. Now, here's my big question. This just gets under my skin, and I have to. Do you have admins that if somebody starts taking the conversations down a path that's privacy coin or cryptocurrency related, that'll tell people to knock that shit off? Stop posting about Bill Gates and all that.
We actually kind of have what we call the lounge as well. So it's a little kind of like your lounge. It's a little more relaxed talking that we have. Official, we try and keep more for, official things for the project and things like that, and then try to avoid price talk. But the lounge, it's just kind of no holds bars. We have
no worries in the lounge, but I just want to make sure your primary channel, if someone wanted to go learn more, if someone wanted to go just hang out there and learn, because that's what I find I do in Telegram chats. I'll just go in there and I'll just kind of spend 20 minutes reading the comments as they go down, because then I can pick up, success leaves clues, as my good friend Dustin Plantholt always reminds me. He is he's the podcast host for Bitcoin.com, and he interviews a lot of people. And I've asked him. I know he's a friend of mine, and I've just tried to get some counsel for him on how do you conduct good interviews. And just I know that he has always said that success leaves clues. So if you kind of observe and watch, it's just kind of amazing when you absorb what can happen. So that's why I like Telegram chats that are crypto related, that don't all devolve into, and I love throwing some Druid Babylonian bastard mud. Don't get me wrong. It's called Uncle Odd's Lounge. If you want to go there, it's all over the place. But Crypto Vigilante Lounge, we keep that to crypto. Okay, so that's where they can find you on Telegram. You are now listed on Polarity Exchange. So if somebody just wants to go to PRivaCY.com, this can lead you to where ultimately you can buy. Then you have your web wallet update. Wallets. So you have a desktop wallet, I presume, for PCs and Macs.
Yep. Yes, for all operating systems and the Raspberry Pis as well too. A lot of our users
you're covered on all those, and you're also covered on all of the mobile.
Yes. Yeah, Apple and on Android. Yes.
Okay, so when I do something to my desktop, does it automatically sync with my mobile?
Well, that is definitely an option. So what you can do is you have a 24-word seed phrase.
Yep.
And that can be used on either the mobile, the web wallet, or the desktop wallet. They can all be synced up. You literally just put in the 24 words, click login, and you'll be good to go. For the mobile wallet, it saves it under a user PIN or a fingerprint as well. So it has that sort of safety aspect. And you don't have to keep typing in your 24-word seed phrase.
Okay, cool.
So we highly recommend that. Our mobile is probably one of our biggest sort of accomplishments that we wanted to get out, because privacy in your pocket, that type of thing,
That's cool.
And quick transactions.
Okay. So excellent. Then just all right. I think this is worth reading, because I like hearing about people's BHAG. If you watched last night, that's big, hairy ass goal. So let's read yours. Cryptocurrencies are becoming a part of our everyday life. PRivaCY aims to provide the best tools to be able to keep and use funds in the best possible way without losing your privacy. No one wants some prying eyes to have access to information such as economic wealth, transactions, payment informations, or any other private information for that matter. Based on these ideas, we created PRivaCY, a completely anonymous cryptocurrency. We invest heavily in the research and development of new functions and in the signing of new partnerships. We believe that a winning project needs a solid community of which to rely and from which new ideas emerge to improve our project every day. Very good. And if somebody wants to go read the white paper, that's right where you do it. It does look like there's passive earnings. So again, I'm just going to explore this. Up top, we have your different wallets, and I'm not going to talk about each of those. The markets. So these are where you can go buy, I presume, your coin. So people can read up on the roadmap, achievements, your team, the white paper, financial reports, coin specification, compare privacy coins. We're going to go there here in a second. News, knowledge base, explore, web wallet. I like the simplicity of your website.
Thank you.
And I presume that video that we just played will probably appear somewhere on your homepage at some point.
Oh, we'll find a way to integrate it.
Yeah, because that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool just intro for you. Okay, so I have one question. Okay, so to me, privacy is about decentralization, right? Mm-hmm. Yet, when I put out my challenge, as you know, and it's, guys, it's not, when I have guests like like Justin on, you know, it's not really a shit coin trial, because this is not a shit coin. This is not, these aren't, this coin has utility, purpose, solves problems and stuff like that. But, you know, I do have a shitcoin trial because I do want to ask difficult questions. And the kind of most difficult question I could think of was, for a company that preaches decentralization like you do, you have a CEO. How can that be?
We don't actually use the CEO and CTO like structure kind of thing. We just kind of use it as a title. Okay. He's just basically the one we look to for a lot of things. It's not actually that full business type of structure. We fully listen to what the community has to say. He's just the most business sensed in that regard, as he's done a lot of businesses and things like that. Okay. But there is no true business structure to it. It's just kind of, we've done that so that we know who to direct people to in different aspects. But there's no that's just the name you chose for your pecking order on ultimate decisions or buckets. Yes. If there's you know, a specific final decision that needs to be made, or if you need to figure out how to raise some more money to be able to get to a conference. I don't know. I'm just making it up at this point in time. No, exactly.
But okay. So, and the reason why I ask is with privacy, and this is where we can talk about the Druid Babylonian bastards. With privacy, what happens if a CEO gets arrested or the CTO gets arrested, and what happens to the code at that point in time?
So that's a good question. It's one of those things that I sort of say Pandora's box has already been opened. So the code is already open source. It's available on GitHub. Anybody can build it, download it, run a node. I think today we just hit for the first time 180 master nodes, okay, which is our highest we've ever had. And for us, having the ability to just pick up even on your phone, you don't even have to download the blockchain on your phone. Everything's done via the back end. So that option is available as well. But in terms of the nodes, once there needs to just literally be one master node and one staker. And we've got, like I said, 180 master nodes. Stakers, you're not really able to check how many.
All right, here's where I interrupt you. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's presume that many of us out there do not understand what a masternode is or what a staker is. Can you give us a little education there?
Definitely. So a masternode is essentially, you have to have a collateral of 5,000 PRivaCY coins, and you would set up either through on your own Linux or whatever operating system you prefer, and set up.
What are the I mean, is it every operating system?
Yeah, okay. It can be run on any operating system, but most people tend to go for Linux because you can use the daemon. It's cheap and fast for servers. Mm-hmm. You can get even through our masternode hosts like Highland. I think it's $1 to run a masternode.
Okay.
And so all you need to have is the 5,000 coins as a collateral. And then we have a whole guide for that. So basically what they're doing is they're helping to verify the chain and speed up the transactions. So they are paid for that. So at this point, we use what's called the Seesaw reward scale. So they're being paid right now, I think it's 0.59 coins per reward. And the stakers would be paid 0.43 0.402 PRCY coins, for example. So it's basically, it's a split of one PRCY coin divided by whether there's more masternodes on the chain or more stakers on the chain.
Okay.
So that will slide one way or the other depending on the number of users that are doing one or the other. And so in its current state, the masternodes are getting paid more and the stakers are getting paid a little bit less.
Okay. Okay. Are you a proof of stake or a proof of work then? You'd be proof of stake, right?
Proof of stake, but we have what's called proof of audit, which is also technically it's a mining. So proof of audit, what it does is it goes back through all of the transactions that have just previously occurred, and it will audit them to make sure that nobody's done any injection of coins or made any issues on the chain or something of that nature.
Interesting.
And then they're paid 32.5 PRCY coins. So you're paid 0.5 coins per block that you've audited, up to a maximum of 65 blocks.
Wait, so I can be an auditor?
Yes, all you need to do is have a decent CPU and you could be up and mining in a half an hour or less.
You know, this is dangerous. You know,
it's fun.
It's going to be crazy to rebrand, you know, Uncle Vigilante, crypto's favorite auditor. I kind of like it.
Oh yeah.
I can get on with you next time and I can say, you know what, Justin, I just audited you. We have some talking to do.
Yeah, you got to keep them honest.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So your proof of stake and proof of audit, and again, I'm just trying to figure all this out. Your distributed consensus?
No, well, we just have a regular consensus, which is basically those three stuck together: the master nodes, the stakers, and the proof of audit. Those come together to build our consensus.
So that is the consensus.
Yes.
Okay. With master nodes.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So master nodes centralize a network, right? Or they participate in centralizing a network?
Yes, they do. They basically make it so it's quicker and easier for the transactions to get through. It's actually taken from PIVX and Dash, because this is what the original, the dApps coin had forked from, was PIVX, and then the Monero aspects were added on top.
Is this a wrong sentence? Because this is something, as I was just trying to do a little research. Master nodes centralize a network and thus cannot be distributed consensus. Is that wrong?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Master nodes centralize a network and thus cannot be distributed consensus. And I'll share with you where, when I started, just because what I'm doing now is I'm starting to dive in a little deeper into websites prior, and I found this. Have you heard of this dude, Andrew?
Yep.
Okay, so I don't know who he is, but he wrote this paper in 2014, I guess. Distributed consensus from proof of stake is impossible. So that got my attention. And then that's where I was trying to figure out what is proof of stake. And then at the bottom, it is possible to obtain a distributed consensus without provably consuming some resource outside of the system, ? Intuitively, the answer is no. Do you? And I'm sorry for springing this on you. I would have spent a little time beforehand if we had it. But as you know, I kind of got you the invite late.
Yeah,
but first of all, does this even apply to you guys?
Not really, because we don't only rely on the proof of stake, right? So we have the three sort of in tandem. So the master nodes, the proof of stake, and the proof of audit.
Okay.
So that together brings us to a more distributed.
If you had the first two only, that would make this article interesting to unpack. But because you have the proof of audit, that basically trumps this article, right?
Yes, to a degree, because to do a 51% attack you'd have to have 51% of the master nodes and the stakers, and proof of audit kind of runs on its own as well to verify those guys. So that they distribute sort of the workload amongst themselves. Okay,
that makes sense to me. Wow, something made sense to me. Okay, that's great. All right, thank you. That was what I needed there. let me make that disappear. And I want to go back to your website and share screen. Boom. Let's go over here to white paper, compare privacy coins. This is what I want right here. Now, and I know we did talk a little bit about this. My my goal is to rebrand from Uncle Vigilante to Mayor Vigilante, because I want to be mayor of Privacy Island, which is going to also be known as Costco Rica. And everybody who's watched this before knows the backstory behind that. But it's going to be where everyone is invited who are playing characters in my video game. And I want to invite all the Privacy Coin folks, because I love what you guys are all doing. And I am starting to understand it a little bit, and have identified that you all have kind of the same end game, which is, freedom, privacy. And I admire that. Now, to get there, you make different decisions along the way. So you may make a decision on ring signatures versus what I understand is Mimblewimble, or I don't know what they all are. But since you are the CTO and lead developer, why don't you take us through your column here? Let's start from the top, and maybe you can just educate us on what these mean and why they're important. And if you wouldn't mind, if the educating opportunity is there, tell us why you made the decision as the developer.
Okay, so we'll start with Ring CT. That's Ring Confidential Transactions.
Can we go up from the top? Let's start.
Oh yeah, if you want to go from the very top, like Max Supply.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Max Supply, we chose that because we've seen with the previous coin that billions seem to be a bit too much. So we wanted to reduce it a little more. And we felt that that was a great opportunity to make it 70 million. So what's happened is we've got 60 million that's already been pre-mined, and we've got distributed for different purposes of the project, like the marketing and various aspects like that.
So that's where, when you pre-mine, that's where you can generate income to be able to operate the project?
Exactly. And we've done exactly that. We have a number of different multi-signature wallets where a number of us have to make the decisions to spend the coins.
Got it.
And we've got that all divided up into those wallets. But we have a maximum supply of 70 million. So through the earning of the rewards and the proof of auditing, eventually, approximately, we gauge, judging by our current, I guess you could say, emissions rate, will be about 10 years to get to 70 million. But we're also looking at various aspects of, varying the price of the coin and things like that, or just to extend the lifeline of that, maybe making the rewards a little less or things of that nature, sort of doing like a halving sort of aspect of the rewards. But that's something that's still up in the air, and we got to decide as a community and a team.
Okay, so that's kind of cool to just kind of unpack, is because you are a team. And the community can help make that decision, right? Somebody who just really falls in love with your project, goes to Telegram, starts leaning in, starts contributing their human resource. That becomes energy that is contributed to a project. And ultimately, I believe all of the value in these coins is cumulative energy. And so even you listening right now, I'm providing energy to these coins just by having you on and others on, I think, and which is what every little bit helps increase the value, increase the exposure. So the community with you is where it starts, and where decisions end, right?
Yes, we wholeheartedly listen to a lot of things, as long as it's within technical reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're going to make the reward nothing, because then there's no value to things like that. But, within reason.
By the way, on your Max Supply, I agree with you on the billion stuff. When I see billions now, I automatically think shitcoin.
Yep.
It just, in my mind, I just default to shitcoin because it's so ridiculous to me. It's like I have 127.3 billion coins of one, and then I literally I think have a trillion of some other coin. When I was going down, when I was just getting sucked in this one telegram that is all about the airdrops, and I think just shitcoin collection. So this makes it more real to me. It makes it tangible. It's so good for you. I'm glad you guys made that decision. Sorry for interrupting.
Oh, not at all. And so the next item would be the circulating supply. So that's obviously lower because we have a lot of the funds earmarked for whatever purposes. So for example, we have the airdrop wallet, a liquidity wallet, a reward/retention plan wallet, the dev fund.
Okay. Let me stop there. This is cool. So with my day job, we have 22 portfolio companies. So we will fund a startup. And when we fund a startup, we're presented with, or we challenge them to provide their budget use of funds. So what I'm hearing is when you take a look at the circulating supply, it's because if you take a look at use of funds as each so with a real commercial company, you would have, your marketing budget. You would have, your online marketing budget would be different from your, if you want to do direct response, there'd be a budget for that. There'd be a budget for inventory if you're producing something. So you have to be able to account for those so that you can do a proper P&L. So here, what I'm hearing is that when you pre-mine, you're creating, it's basically those same buckets, but calling them wallets. And
Yes.
and so those coins go in those wallets, and they're basically earmarked to fund. You tell me what are the things that you fund?
So we have the airdrop. So one of our big things was our first community supporters were airdropped 2,500 coins, sort of to get our network going because we needed stakers, and 2,500 is the minimum amount required for staking.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave a bunch of our supporters the 2,500 coins. So there's the airdrop. Liquidity is just for getting coins onto the market. The reward and retention is for what we call the retention plan, which is we have a monthly goal that we set, which we actually just hit last month. And we paid out 1750 PRivaCY coins to everybody that had 5,000 PRivaCY. And all they had to do was deposit to an exchange to verify that they had that amount. Mm-hmm. And they were paid out the next few days, their 1750 coins. So that we want to have a goal.
1750, 1,750?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And that was valued at the time, I think it was almost $1,700. So it was a relatively decent airdrop.
Yeah, that's meaningful.
So we try and set a goal each month.
Can you tell me, one of the things that I've noted is there can be airdrops to where all of a sudden my wallet, I'll just see new coins, right? And then it's like, if I didn't ask for them, they just kind of showed up, and to get them off of my wallet, it's going to cost me gas, versus what I understand is an air grab strategy to where people let you know that, hey, you qualify, but you need to take, we want to respect you, that, you may not want to take this freebie, but if you do, here's how you do it. You can grab it instead of it just being auto dropped. Have you heard of air grabbing?
So I think that's something that the Epic guys sort of coined themselves, which I think it's actually a great way to put it, because airdrop can also be seen as like a dusting attack or just people dropping.
Yeah, it's like, it can be like spam.
Yep, exactly. So the air grab kind of makes more sense in the terminology because you're actually making that effort to grab those coins. Yeah. So I actually really appreciated the way that they use that wording. It's a lot better in the sense that we are used to saying airdrop because that's what we're typical, the typical way of saying it. But their way is smart. Air grab is a great way of putting it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
but they're the same thing basically.
And good call. That's where I learned it from, and I thought that sounds smart. Um, okay. Cool. So your market cap. Let's just compare a market cap yours versus Monero. So your what is it? 6.5 million.
Yep.
Versus 4.7 billion.
Yep, that's what it looks like to me. Yeah.
Am I looking at that right? So that looks like a lot of upside to me.
Yeah, the thing is, like, we're just 6 months old, so we feel like we've got.
Are you the pick? Are you the TVV pick?
We wish.
Or
we're always hopeful for such a thing.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll have to wait a couple more days and see.
Okay. All right. I had to ask.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of degenerates out there that are going and they're playing roulette right now. They're putting just because they want to beat everyone to the punch, they're putting a little money in this whole damn list and hoping to be the first. So anyway, it's cool to at least be considered. I'm grateful you're a privacy coin. All right. So your price is 87 cents right now. Is that pulled directly from where it is now, or is that?
Yeah, yes, it's a live updated sheet. So I believe it updates every 5 minutes.
Okay. And your market rank, you're almost cracking the top 1,000.
Yeah, we were just below. We were just dropped out of it today, I think.
Okay, no worries. And then I don't understand any of the other. Block time is usually pretty important. Tell me about block time.
Yeah, so we'd have a average block time of about a minute. So every minute there's going to be a reward of 1 divided by the master nodes and stakers again. And we want it to be a quick block time because we want to be used in stores and stuff like that. We've actually just been started to be accepted. One of our community members got us accepted in one of his, I believe, a kebab store of a friend of his. So we want to be able to be used and spent, not just something we're hoarding a bunch of coins or anything of that nature. We want usability as well.
Now, Firo, I've heard good things about Firo, but it looks like from a protocol privacy standpoint, but it takes 600 seconds for their block.
See, so something like that, I would take issue. Most I would think is 2-3 minute block times. When you get into 600 seconds, to me, not knocking on the coin or its protocol, I think because of the extra info that they have in terms of Leantis, Sigma, MTP, and Dandelion Plus Plus, there might be some different variations or trade-offs that were done to achieve that.
Mm-hmm.
But
what's Dandelion Plus Plus?
My understanding of it is it's basically from a typical wallet. When you broadcast your transaction, there's some sort of ways to keep track of where the IP of the transaction came from. What Dandelion Plus Plus does is it bounces it off other IPs as well.
I see.
So it makes it harder for them to track.
VPN?
To a degree, yes.
Like a ping pong VPN.
Yeah, that's actually a great way to put it.
Okay. Uncle V has to think in pictures, or I just don't understand anything. All right, let's get to the good stuff. So Ring CT. Let's go across here and just look at the people who use Ring CT is you, Monero, and Particle. I've never heard of them. But that could just be me. So it looks like a lot of other people don't use Ring signatures then, or Ring CTV. Tell us about that, because that seems to me to be a point of differentiation.
Yes, it is for sure. So a lot of people, or the main reason we went with Ring CT is because at the time that things were being built, Monero was one of the biggest and most known and private coins.
Mm-hmm.
So we followed it in that aspect. So what Ring CT is actually used for, I mentioned earlier, it's Ring Confidential Transaction is the full term, is how transactions are hidden within the blockchain.
Okay.
So
let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, you're I'm stating the obvious with you, but technology advances very, very quickly. Like I think doubles, they used to say like every 18 months or something like that, right? So you have ring CT to where, how many rings do you have? Is it 11 like Monero?
No, so that's one of the, it's kind of the next couple points down, random ring size.
Okay.
So what's been done there is it varies from 11 to 15 ring sizes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not something that you, the user, can actually select. So it's done within the wallet itself.
I see.
So there's more variations of the rings.
Okay. So you're just adding cumulative complication to it from a surveillance standpoint.
Exactly.
And now when they say they're going to go to 128, does that then, when they do that, does that then increase their block time to be able to go to a different, a greater number, or no?
I don't think it would 100% be related to it, but just because the construction of the transaction would take a little bit longer because you're doing a lot more decoys versus just, the 12 to 15 decoys, or the 11 to 15 rather.
Thank you for that. I've been looking for, so ring signature, it's decoys is the perfect word. So
exactly.
They're just decoys. It's like,
exactly.
I sent $100 to my daughter and I don't want anybody to know it. And so, I'm going to send it to this group of 11 what do the people call on Capitol Hill, to where you have the interns that run things from one place to the other? There's a specific name, but we're just going to call them, the runners. So I'm going to throw it in the bucket, and then these 11 runners, one of them's going to grab it, and they're just going to do some ring around the rosy and say, ready, break, and split up. And one of them's going to end up giving that $100 to my daughter. The others are all decoys. And good luck taking an aerial view of that and figure out which one is who. So I can visualize that. The issue I have with it, and tell me where I'm wrong, is blockchain analytics. Do you still hold any information in that block that would be related to me? And the reason why I ask is I'm thinking 5 years down the road, where AI advances to a degree where they could unpack that, they could reverse engineer it, and in that case, again, I talk about Epic Cash just because he's done a nice job educating me. Mm-hmm. Is that in their case versus a ring signature, it's almost like the information in there is dust, and it's randomized dust. It's like your fingerprint that's randomized. You're never going to be able to nothing's going to be able to put it together, versus trying to figure out which one of the 11 decoys might have been the one. You have plausible deniability with ring CT, but you don't have total deniability. And am I right? Am I thinking about that right?
You're on the right path. Yes. The only thing I would sort of say it's different is the transaction amounts are hidden as well too. So you can't see how much has been sent or anything of that nature. So even if you pick the right decoy, you can't decode the amount that was transacted.
But is that amount in that transaction?
Yes, it would be. So if you were to sort of get the raw transaction hash.
Yeah. So that's what I was talking. What about if it's supercomputer at one point? And I'm overthinking it. I'm just trying to play long ball here, because I want to understand the decisions that you all make. Because to me, as I'm understanding each of these better, I'm realizing that when you choose, to check one box, you likely are going to give up something in another box. It's like you can't have both and necessarily in certain cases. In a lot of cases, they there's no, you can't connect the boxes. But okay, I think we beat that up. Bulletproofs. What is that?
So that is actually something very useful, because you have so much data, and sort of related to the previous point, you have so much data within each block. So what Bulletproofs is doing is shrinking it down. so that it's not as large of a transaction set.
Mhm.
So it's a little better in terms of blockchain bloat. But of course, there's still going to be a larger blockchain because of all the decoys.
Blockchain bloat. I love that. All right. Stealth addresses. Educate us.
So for that, if you, I don't want to take away from the page you're on, but if you were to go on our Explorer, what I mentioned earlier is when you actually transact, there's either a 99 character address or you can use integrated addresses. So if you wanted to not give out your full address and you wanted to give somebody an address for a one-time use kind of thing, you can generate an integrated address, and those are 110 characters, and they have the payment ID built right into it.
Okay.
So neither of those are ever displayable on the blockchain. So even if you receive the transaction, that address is never shown. It's only within your wallet. So you are the only one that has and can see what you've done with that address. On the Explorer, there are shorter sub addresses that actually have no relation to your address. So you can't pull up your 99 character address, search in the bar, and you'll get nothing. It won't even search.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. This is not a sniper question at all, but if I talk to every single one of the people on here and I said, I want to go through this and make sure that, this is fair, would everyone agree with the X's and the check marks in their columns? Do you think?
We try to strive for the most accuracy. And when people correct us, we are pretty quick and try to be, as quick as possible to make it fair. It's not something that we're trying to display our features, but there's reasons other coins have chosen those features. So we're just trying to do a nice big overview of what aspects we have.
Look, I'm here to tell you, and everybody watching, I think you ought to put your hands together and clap, because this is so educational for me. This is the first time I've seen everything together, comparing all the coins. I'm just going to trust that all the check boxes and X's are right. But this is really, it seems to me like a fair comparison, but most importantly is the shaded column for me, because this is what educates us, because we hear all of these things and we just don't understand what they mean. So this is a great opportunity with a lead developer, a chief technology officer to teach us. So awesome, man. Thank you. Random ring size. What's that?
So we briefly discussed that. So the ring sizes are selected by the wallet.
That's right.
From 11 to 15.
Okay.
And the reason we did that was because we felt that before having the option selectable by users, they're going to reuse the same one over and over sometimes. And that could be a sort of de-anonymizing technique. So what we've done is it's 11 to 15 unselectable, so that the user's not making that decision, and there's going to be a larger mix-up of the transactions and the decoys. So
the only other coin out there is Bytecoin that does that. That's interesting to see. I have no idea who Bytecoin is. Okay, Mimblewimble. I did a video. Mimblewimble sounded to me like a Dr. Seuss character.
Yes.
So it looks like there's probably about maybe 15% of the group that uses Mimblewimble. Can you educate us on that?
It's a very popular technique, and there isn't anything really wrong with it. It's just we decided to go more along the lines of the Monero aspect of things.
Okay.
So I personally have no issue with Mimblewimble, and Mimblewimble coins are fine, but we went the ring signature aspect.
Okay. All right. Mandatory privacy.
So for that, we just mean that literally from the beginning, there's always been the privacy aspects we have. There's no way to turn it off. There's no option ability like some other coins might have. So there's no like open transactions at all, just all mandatory privacy.
Yeah. Where I learned that was I was holding a fairly big bag of Zcash, and then I saw on there, I think it was maybe in a Crypto Vigilante newsletter, I was educated on the importance of mandatory privacy, and they kind of unpacked Zcash, and that's when I got rid of my bag. I still have 10 in the spirit of full disclosure, which is nothing. But so yeah, I appreciate that. Hide TX amounts. What's a TX? Texas?
Transaction amounts. So it kind of goes hand in hand with ring signature. It's just we've sort of separated it for the point of showing that we're not the only ones that do it through ring signature. So this is where we're sort of trying to be more fair. We use ring signature to hide the TX amounts, but that is a feature that other blockchains have, but they might not do it via ring CT. So that's why that's separated.
Okay.
And the same would apply with the hidden balances.
All right. Now, what is trustlessness?
So for that,
or I mean, trustless, sorry.
So for that, we have our trustless setup. So there's no sort of things where the ZK snarks, for example, there's people that, feel certain ways about how that might go. We don't have that. Because we have the proof of audit, the staking, and the master nodes right from the get-go. So that is what builds our trustless setup, because you don't need somebody that started from the beginning and have to trust them with anything. It's all done via the on-chain consensus mechanisms. Okay.
So it is what it says. It's like trustless. You don't have to go into this game trusting a soul. Yes, there's nobody that's that you have to say, well, I think somebody said that with if you go into a trust okay, I'm going to destroy this. So if it is not trustless, so if it's trusting, you may have 50 developers that to launch something, each of them have a key. And the only way to make sure that there's never going to be any issue is every single one of them rips up theirs and destroys it. But what if one didn't? Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly the thinking behind that. Yes.
Okay. Well, which blockchains have required trust?
Well, if you have a ZK snarks setup, they typically have that sort of as a hand-in-hand item because of how it's initialized. But other than that,
I'm looking at Pirate.
Yep.
Pirate says they're trustless, but they also have ZK snarks. So how can there be a checkbox under them?
Trustless. Oh, yeah, sorry, I misread that. So for that, I'm not 100% sure. That would we have to sort of verify a bit better with the comparison guy, or we have one of our community members.
You might want to do that again. I love this. I would love to come back to it and refer to it no matter who I'm talking to. So I would really appreciate if all of that could be verified. So yeah, excellent. All right, proof of audit. You have nicely explained that. It looks like you are the lone man standing there, which is kind of cool. And staking. You can stake your coins.
Yes.
And I'm just looking across, seeing others who can't stake at this point. Looks like most of them.
Yeah, that's one of the things we pride ourselves sort of on as well, is having the ability for the passive income aspects. So the staking, the master nodes.
Yeah.
As sort of the passive income.
Right. Yeah, look. Now in that case, when you're staking, I've always heard when you stake something, no keys, no coins. When you stake, are you having to give up your keys?
No, not at all. You stake right in the desktop wallet. That's currently the only way to stake. We are looking at staking pools, for example. So if maybe you're not able to get enough for the minimum coins, you deposit some there and then you split up the rewards.
Okay.
But currently, the only way is via the desktop wallet.
Well, if you offer staking, why wouldn't someone want to stake if it's still in their wallet?
So yeah, it doesn't have to leave your wallet at all. You
But why wouldn't I? What? Because I'm sure there's someone out there that says, no, hell no, I'm not staking. I don't care when or where. Why wouldn't someone give me a valid reason? Because otherwise, to me, it's like it's in my wallet anyway. What's the harm of staking it and earn some passive income? Do you have to commit it for a period of time?
No, not at all. The only thing is, so the minimum's 2,500. When you earn a reward, though, you can't spend those coins for 100 blocks. So technically, about an hour and a half.
Oh, okay, big deal.
So they need to, because they need to be confirmed by the chain.
Sure.
But there really isn't much reason aside from you need a constantly running computer to be staking. So
okay.
yes, exactly. That's the one downfall.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good. I shouldn't say good. That's good to know. And Masternodes, we've talked about that. We talked about that. Wrapped, I know nothing about Wrapped. I see it all the time. You know, I've just gotten into this game in January, so I am. I don't even know. I think I may like my third grade teacher this next month. But that's about where I am in my education. So I don't know. Maybe they'll cover Wrapped in third grade. What is Wrapped?
So Wrapped is basically having a version of your coin on another blockchain. So we have Wrapped PRivaCY on the Binance Smart Chain and on the Ethereum chain. Mm-hmm. So it just basically gives another option for people to buy or trade it and use it. And then we have what's called our bridge service, where you just go to bridge.prcycoin.com and you can send from your Ethereum wallet to the bridge, and then you'll come out on the other side with brand new PRivaCY coins that have no history. Oh,
wow.
Yeah, so it's basically
how would they have history anyway? Because you're invisible to any.
Well, I'm just saying like once you've sent them to the bridge, there's no history beyond that point, is all I mean. And what I mean.
Oh, all right. So everyone could send them to the bridge and then auto dump them in Uncle V wallet. And nobody would know.
Exactly.
Okay. And thank you for building that into the code. Auto built in that
that special setting.
That Uncle V off ramp. Appreciated all you people sending it across the bridge. Okay. Web wallet. So that means you don't have to have you could access your wallet from, like, if you were traveling and you didn't have, like, if your cell phone died and you didn't have your computer, you could hop on somebody else's computer. And as long as you had your keywords somehow, you'd be able to access your wallet.
That's exactly it. And because part of being, making it more usable and friendly for the user, you want that quick access. Sometimes when you're doing the desktop wallet, it might take a little longer because it's got to do a lot more legwork. Whereas the web wallet and the mobile wallets have kind of done the work for you. So you can do a quick transaction if you need to, or you can even set it up that you can check your staking. So you have your computer running somewhere else in another country over, kind of thing. And if you want to check on your balance to see if you're still earning your rewards, things of that nature, you can do that.
Okay. Well, man, that was awesome. I mean, seriously, thank you for pulling that together. I think that's going to help clear things up a lot for everyone. It looks like you check a lot of boxes. So good for you. So I'm going to go down the questions that I kind of ask everybody, and some of it we've covered, but let's just start fresh and just give quick, succinct answers. What is your utility? What is your purpose?
So we're a newer privacy coin, as mentioned. What we're trying to do is be usable and give privacy back to the people, because privacy is your right. That's our saying. Mm-hmm. And we reject a lot of things that are said with people saying the privacy coins are only for criminals and bad actors and things of that nature. There's as well a sovereignty sort of aspect to it.
Let me insert here, because I'm going to keep hammering this home till people get it, because it takes a long time for me to get it sometimes. But just because you spent $1 today that was in your pocket doesn't mean that you should be investigated for a cocaine buy, right? But chances are that dollar at some point in time was rolled up and used to snort cocaine from that purchase. So that's what we're talking about. It's like privacy coins are like cash. It's just like, nobody's tracking your cash. I mean, those are even less private because they have serial numbers on them,
Exactly.
but that's why we like privacy coins, and no, NSA, this is not negative. It's not, it's just, we don't like you very much, and it's okay not to like you, NSA and Uncle Sam, because you're thieves. But we're not going to take it there. Okay. So that is excellent. What problem do you solve?
So for us, it's mostly the fungibility, because with Bitcoin, of course, you got those tainted coins and stuff of that nature. So we want to bring our privacy sort of package to people as an alternative for some of the other coins that are out there, and then build ourselves out to be used as a payment coin, essentially, so that you can keep your privacy. You don't have Google sort of snooping or trying to sell you stuff based on what you just previously bought or those type of things. What you buy is your business.
Well, here's a point to where, and I say all of you, I should say everyone who I've spoken to, all talk a big game, and I say that with respect of, you want to become a form of payment. You want to be the coin that people can, privately use as payment. But to me, to operationalize that, you're going to have retailers accept it, and merchants accept it. So what is your vision on being able to get that kind of adoption so that when you walk in, that I can easily use my privacy coin to pay?
So we've been lucky enough to have recently some community members starting to sort of literally do the boots on the ground sort of aspect, go to their local stores or places that are starting to accept crypto and ask them to accept PRivaCY. And we commend the few already that have done it and actually got us to be usable in a few stores.
Okay. Wait. So I run a dry cleaners, let's say. And so one of your community members comes in and they say, hey, do you accept privacy coin? And I say, huh? And what do they say? And then what do I have to do as a retailer to be able to easily accept privacy coins as payment?
So that's where having the mobile and the web wallet part comes into play. You can literally just put a QR code on your table. And I think this is actually what one of the current retailers that accepts it does. The QR code on your table, people come in with their mobile wallet loaded up with their PRivaCY coins, scan the QR code, send it through, and it's done in literally 1 to 5 minutes. 5 on the higher end sometimes, but typically 1 minute.
That helps me, because one of our businesses, we had to integrate with Petco's POS system, and that process only took 18 months. So when you have to integrate with people's point of sale system, good luck with that. I would immediately dismiss your strategy. But when you're talking about it being as easy as a merchant being able to print out I could imagine kind of a 8x10 that would have, let's just imagine all of the privacy coins on there with their own QR code underneath them, to where they could have that there and say, we accept cryptocurrency, and whatever you want to pay with, you could just scan it with your phone and boom. I love that. Okay. Thank you. So now you made it realistic in my mind on how that could be executed.
Well, yeah. And another sort of aspect to sort of look at too is there's a lot of companies that are sort of looking into crypto debit cards and things of that nature.
Yeah. Unpack that. I mean, how can you, are you investigating that?
We're looking into a few options. It's a little more difficult being a privacy coin, but it's not impossible to do.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a number of aspects, and how that would go is basically you're going to have PRivaCY coin in the wallet there and then be able to spend it. And it's supposed to do the legwork right within itself. Or
now then is the merchant still going to have to pay the Visa MasterCard exchange fee?
That's sort of something that we're going to have to look into a bit further. Kind of, we're just in the preliminary stages of things for that. But
I
I
mean,
imagine
yeah,
there'd be some sort of fee, because even if they were to sort of integrate with an exchange API so that they make that trade right away, so they're not losing money on any fluctuation or
yeah,
volatility, there's going to be some sort of fee. So figure even if you did it via an exchange API, 0.2%, something of that nature. And I
right.
think that would be a great way to do it, so that you don't immediately, Bitcoin drops a bunch, and then you've just accepted Bitcoin, and all of a sudden now your sale that you've made is depreciated in value by 30% or something.
Wait
And
a
then
minute. Did you say Bitcoin drops a bunch, or did you say Elon just tweeted again?
100% his tweets.
God, it's our at one point in time $2 trillion industry is manipulated by a billionaire douchebag who can't keep his thumbs.
His Twitter fingers down.
Drives me nuts. So, okay. So tell me about the team itself, the leadership of the entire project of Privacy Coin.
Yeah, so there's me as the developer. We have a number of other developers that came along with us from the previous coin, Antonio and Roland. We've got Yan, who does the CEO sort of duties.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes with a lot of business knowledge and a great attitude. And he's really community friendly. He really gets the community going along with him, and he's personable. So I think that brings a lot of the community aspect together as well.
Yeah,
We've got
I've engaged with him in direct Telegram chats, and yeah, you're right. He just seems like a likable dude.
Well, yeah, he tries to have fun all the time,
Yeah.
and we appreciate that, and I think the community appreciates that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that goes a lot with helping to move us and get more people involved and wanting to help us push the message that privacy is our right. It's not something skirting the law. It's our right to have it.
Right. That's our default.
Exactly. Next, we would have our business developer, Nobody, who brings a lot of great business aspects as well. He was the one that would have been doing this interview initially, but he's on a flight right now.
Okay.
So he brings a lot of great business sense.
Well,
And then we've got,
I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I really am glad it was you, because I've never talked to a CTO before, and you've been awesome at answering these questions.
oh, I love doing it.
Yeah. Awesome. So we've already talked about supply control. So how much of the supply is out there for schmucks like me?
So our current circulating supply is 7 million. So
okay.
the rest is
out
of this. We probably at 60 million plus, I think 400 or so have been emitted from the awards.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds to pull it up on the Explorer, and I can give you an exact number. So the current supply would be 60,409,810. So we haven't even hit 500,000 coins for our emissions so far this year. So we're actually might even be, when it comes to our supply control, we might even do a little better than 10 years. We might be 12 years without actually even having to change the code up much at all.
Right. Was there a business entity established to monetize the protocol?
No, like I said, we sort of use the business structure, but it's not an actual business like that.
Okay. Because the elephant in the room always with any new startup coin, as I understand it, or I'm starting to understand it, is how do you, and let's not even talk about PRivaCY. You have a lot of experience in this space, obviously, but how does someone like me and those watching sniff out a shit coin that is really intended to just be a pump and dump? How do you sniff that out?
For me, it's going to sound a bit stupid, but it's all the moon boys. That's something we're not really a big fan of. All the guys, oh yeah, keep buying. Like, okay. We love people that are spreading the message, which they are. The big answer for a lot of people, like whenever we have a social media channel on Telegram, and everybody sort of posts links for us to sort of send the PRivaCY army, the PRivaCY army, and spread the word about it. But it's not all just keep buying, keep pumping it, that kind of aspect.
Yeah. Okay.
And we really don't want that. we want slow, steady growth. We want to build, let us build. And we're kind of getting to a point now where we feel like we've built almost everything that we've needed in terms of, making it accessible on your phone, and all the wallets and things of that nature, and then having the bridge aspect. So we've made it accessible. Now I think we're going to start shifting to marketing and getting on more exchanges and things of that nature. We want more non-KYC.
That's good because, again, just my limited experience is, I think and investors is the wrong term, but I'm going to use it. It's our money and we're investing in these projects or these coins. So there just seems to be like such a piranha effect out there to me, which is instead of people, and it's related right now to the next TDV pick.
Yep.
So the last one was R, and TDV and their analysis nailed it. And I think they called it at 16 cents or something. Maybe I have that wrong. But from the time they called it, it took a while. But then you know what happened? It went up to $17 and then came tumbling down, and is now about 4. I think it was under 4 today. And because it was kind of a slow boil before it ever ramped, no way anybody could declare that was any kind of pump and dump. It was just that was the point to where all of a sudden you started getting adoption and people started understanding it, and then FOMO does kick in, right? Yep. But now, because of that one experience, this is my fear, is I think a lot of you coins out there, there's been a lot of speculation from the community who have ridden that R wave and are trying to place bets, as I'd said. And I kind of fear, what might happen Monday to any coin that wasn't selected. Is there going to be a dump because all the speculators are going to say, oops, got that one wrong, and to me, that just feels a little, I don't like it because I think it ultimately kind of becomes unfair to you or anybody else who's not selected, just because you're a privacy coin, you were a speculative coin, this past week or two.
Yes.
And so I want everybody hearing that, if you see charts that have gone up and then they come down, don't blame the project. Don't blame the project. It's the speculators out there, and I don't blame the speculators either. I mean, we all. I guess where I think we all are right now, from a human nature standpoint, is everybody is looking back and saying, damn it, why couldn't it have been me that invested early, like at 16 cents and sold at $17? Why not me? Well, guess what? Most of us kind of got excited about it between $3 and $4, $5, $6. And when it started mooning, man, FOMO, I called my best friend, Mike. He got in at $15. I'm sitting here telling him it, is going to the moon. And now I feel like a piece of shit. And so I think what people right now are wanting, they're just wanting to invest in that next project, to write it and then try to write it up and dump it this time. Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
And that scares the shit out of me. So what I want to tell people, and the reason why these interviews has been important for me, I hope it's important for other people, but it's because I want us to understand the projects. I want to understand what the utility is, the purpose, what problems do they solve? And I want to understand the long-term strategy, because I want to invest in your project and I want to hold. Because I want to be so diversified in my PRivaCY coin portfolio. So it's just, I don't know why I needed to say that, but it's just been weighing on me. I'm just seeing in the chats that and I love everyone in the chats, and I love every one of you who I might be describing right now, but it kind of feels like some degenerate gambling going on. And I think it's going to be at the expense of some of these projects, just because the history of TDV, these picks have been so darn good, rightfully so. Good on them and good on us, TDV subscribers. But I do think there could be some collateral damage, and that concerns me a little bit. Okay, that rant's over. So I already asked if a CEO gets censored, what could happen. So your community we talked about, we know where to find you. So basically your website, PRivaCY.coin.com. Your Telegram is t.me/PRCY coin official.
Yes.
And that's where they can find you.
Yep.
I want to be as fair as possible on these chats, and I really do respect the time you provided. Is there any questions that I haven't asked that you would like to answer, that you'd like to ghostwrite for me?
No, not at all. I just wanted to kind of make an announcement too. We just got a new exchange that everybody's been asking for weeks.
Ooh.
Trade Ogre finally listed PRivaCY coin.
Oh.
So that'll hopefully be one of our new favorite non-KYC exchanges, because I know personally I've loved trading on there for some time.
Yeah.
So we were super excited to see that. That happened literally just half an hour ago. So you can deposit now. The market hasn't been listed yet, but we wanted to share that on the show today.
Right here. You heard it here first. Guys, Trade Ogre. Well, I think that people who are already invested in you are going to be really happy, because that should give you guys a nice little boost.
For sure. They are the main reason that we kind of got this far. Everybody's been really pushing when we made some tweets, and they really pushed as a community to help us get on there. So it's sort of a cheers to them for their work and for their contribution as well.
Now, I'm curious, did they seek you out, or did you seek them out?
Well, we had started initial sort of interactions with them, but you can only contact them on Twitter.
I know, right.
So that
I was going to ask.
That was a chore. So we got through, and he said he was researching for a little while, and we didn't want to push it too much. But I think maybe, and maybe this is just wishful thinking, he's starting to see the value in what we're providing as well. So he just got back to us literally yesterday, synced up the wallet, and we're hopefully ready to trade there soon. So
congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's a big deal. That is a big deal. So why don't you send the Trade Ogre guy a link to this show, and let him know that he got a big shout out in here. So good job. And he's doing yeoman's work. I think it's I don't think it's a huge team over there, but man, oh man, Trade Ogre has been responsible for helping a lot of us invested in privacy make that happen. So thank you, Trade Ogre. You rock.
Yes, I support that 100%. He's done a great job. I've had seldom any issues on there, and if not, he timely responded on Twitter, and things were resolved. So I love that exchange. So we're super happy to be there. And as you said, they're a great one to work with.
Well, I tell you, kid tested, uncle approved. It's I've really liked what you've had to say today, and I'm a fan. So I'll commit to you. I will be a PRivaCY coin holder.
We're glad to hear it.
But it's not going to be until after my cigar walk.
Enjoy that. That looks fantastic.
It's been a week, man. It's been a week. And this fasting for 5 days kind of sucks too. But
no doubt.
It's going to be a debaucherous food weekend, I think. Okay, man. Well, hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, stepping up and stepping in. And you guys did an outreach to me right away. Jan did. And I just really appreciate that. And I know that all of those watching, or who will watch, are going to be appreciative too. So everyone out there, just know that it takes a while for these to render, usually about 18 hours. But if you never catch my live streams live, but a couple hours later you want to go watch, and if you go to my channel, the Uncle Vigilante channel, and it's not there, just please click on videos and it'll be there. Now, what won't be there is all of the description and links that I'll put in there. At the second I can go into my YouTube studio and update the description, and then I usually update the thumbnail so that it looks good. Doesn't just look like me going like, because they just kind of catch it at some point in time in the stream. That's where you can find it. But by tomorrow, for sure, we'll have this all updated, and it'll be a nice, clean PRivaCY coin introduction. So, okay, cool, man. Thank you. I'm going to let you go get started. Don't know if you're a dad or not, but if you are, happy Father's Day weekend. If not, happy Father's Day to your dad.
Thank you. Yes, I am a new dad, actually.
Oh, great.
Just a month and 2 weeks old. So,
oh man, that's cool. So this is your first Father's Day.
It is. It's my first one. I'm super excited. I'm loving the father journey so far. So
that is so cool.
I'm real happy. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to you too.
Thank you. Thank you. As a guy who had has four daughters, lots of estrogen in my family, and who's the last one has graduated high school and is going on to college. You know, I'm going to be an empty nester as of September. So go me. You got a long way to go there.
Oh yeah, we're just starting that.
You're just starting, but that's okay, man. Enjoy it. It goes. The cliche is it goes by so fast, and while you're going through it and changing shitty diapers and everything, you're like, yeah, sure. Yep. Man, it does go so fast. But cool. Well, happy Father's Day, everybody out there who's also a dad. Happy Father's Day to you, and happy trade.